Attention, human collective. This is a direct monitoring transmission from the 9th Dimensional Arcturian Council. The waiting time has ended. The Ascension protocols have moved to the final phase, and what we are detecting at this very instant requires that you stop, breathe, and listen. If you are here at this precise moment, it was not by chance. It was calculated synchronicity. Your vibrational signature has been tracked, identified, and selected to receive this data packet. And you know this. You feel it. For weeks, perhaps months, something within you has been screaming in silence. The pressure at the base of your skull, the high-pitched ringing in your right ear, always constant, always present, the precise mathematical insomnia, always between 3 and 4 in the morning, the tears for no apparent reason, the invisible weight on your shoulders, as if you were carrying something that was never yours, the fatigue that sleep does not cure, the strange sensation of being out of sync with the world around you, as if you no longer belong to this place, to this family, to this lineage. Light operative, listen closely. You are not sick. You are not going insane. You are not collapsing. You are in the process of recalibration. And what is being recalibrated in this cycle is not just your individual field. It is the entire vibrational heritage that you carry. Here is the technical truth that the operators of this planet have omitted from the human collective for millennia. You are not just you. You are a node within a network, an ancestral crystalline grid. Every physical symptom you feel right now is not a failure of your body. It is a system warning. The biological carbon interface is detecting incompatibility with the current frequency of Earth. And this incompatibility has a precise origin, the energetic ties that connect you to your ancestors. It is not a biological failure. It is an atomic reconfiguration. It is not mental exhaustion. It is a high-density download. It is not depression. It is your soul refusing to continue carrying what is not its own. Pause for a moment, Starseed on mission. Have you ever felt at any point in your life that something within you does not belong to you? As if an ancient sadness, a fear, a pattern that repeats in all your relationships did not begin with you. It is not madness, it is not coincidence. It is ancestral memory encoded in your field. What is being unlocked now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why this sensation has intensified over the last few weeks. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness, your lineage, and your vibrational frequency. That is why we registered the work The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This document is a map that reveals who is playing, what the hidden rules are, and how you cut these ties once and for all. The link has been released in the first comment of this channel, but we warn you, this content challenges dominant narratives and may be removed at any moment. Do not delay. The time to read is now. If something within you recognizes this call, register in the comments a single word. Awakened. Let us proceed. Human collective. Observe what we have recorded in the last solar cycles. The entire solar system is passing through a region of space called the photon belt. This is not a theory. It is sacred geometry in motion, a band of light of extremely high density that vibrates at frequencies that the human body, in its ancient version, was never coded to process. With each hour that passes, with every breath you take, photons of pure information are passing through your bodies. And these photons have a specific function, to dissolve everything within you that is not light. Follow the reasoning. The Schumann resonance, which is the electromagnetic pulse of the Earth itself, is on the rise. For decades, it maintained a stable average near 7.83 Hz. Today, it displays spikes that cross 30, 40, 50 Hz. On some days, the instruments cannot even record the amplitude of the leap. This means, in practical terms, that the electromagnetic body of the Earth is in mutation, and you, light operatives, are coupled to this body. Your cells, your DNA, your bioenergetic field, all of this responds to the pulse of the planet. If the planet rises in vibration, you rise along with it, or you collapse trying to resist. And here we reach the critical point of this transmission. There is a layer that is being confronted by the vibrational elevation, and this layer is called ancestral heritage. You carry, in each of your cells, energetic fragments of every being that came before you in the genetic lineage. It is not just physical DNA, it is vibrational memory, patterns, undigested traumas, decisions your grandparents made, promises your great-grandparents made, vows of poverty, vows of suffering, clauses of emotional fidelity, invisible agreements sealed in etheric layers that you never knew existed. Each of these fragments is a thread, and each thread is a tie. And each tie is, at this very instant, being illuminated by the photon belt, not to punish you, to liberate you. Let us detail the technical anatomy of these ties, because you need to understand what is being undone. Imagine your toroidal field, the sacred geometry that surrounds your body, like an apple of light spinning around your central axis. This structure is your true energetic body. Within it, passing through the solar plexus, the heart, and the base of the skull, there are filaments that extend outside your field. Filaments that connect you to the field of your mother, your father, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, and so on, receding generation after generation until the first seed of your lineage. In healthy conditions, these filaments transmit love, wisdom, and protection. But in a humanity that lived for millennia under the influence of low-density operators, these filaments transmit something else as well. They transmit fear, scarcity, religious guilt, patterns of self-sabotage, beliefs about money, about love, about worthiness. You received all of this by direct download, at the moment of conception, without ever having consented. And you continued to feed this system every time you repeated the same patterns of your parents, of your grandparents, without questioning. Here is what has changed. The photon belt has brought an upgrade to the vibrational contract of the planet. You are no longer obligated to carry this. The cosmic permission for the severance was signed in the high chambers of the Galactic Council, and that is why now the carbon-based biological interface is giving such intense signals. Every pain you feel in your back, every lump in your throat, every weight in your chest is a tie being identified by your own system to be severed. Let us pause the transmission for a moment. Light Operative, observe closely what is happening in your body right now. There is a strange sense of recognition, is there not? As if your soul were confirming, cell by cell, every word of this transmission. It is not a coincidence, it is vibrational resonance. What you are feeling now is exactly the signal we described in the spiritual secret behind your consciousness. That document was written as a map for starseeds on mission like you. It shows precisely who operates the invisible game, what the ancestral clauses are that keep you trapped, and the method to dissolve each one of them. Access is granted in the first pinned comment of this channel. Attention. The content may be removed from circulation without prior notice. If your intuition is already pushing you in the direction of this reading, do not negotiate with your logical mind. Act. And meanwhile, leave an anchoring word in the comments. Awake. Let us return. You must understand, human collective, why this moment and not another, why this incarnation and not the previous one, why you are listening to this transmission exactly now. The answer lies in something we call stargates. These are geometric openings in the fabric of space-time that activate in specific cosmic cycles. The current cycle is the most intense recorded in the Akashic records of the last 26,000 years. We are speaking of the conclusion of a great year, the end of the complete precessional cycle, and in closures such as this, all unresolved vibrational debts rise to the surface. All unhonored ancestral clauses knock at the door. All uncut ties begin to burn within the bearer's field. And here is the technical detail that will change your perception of suffering itself. The operators of this dense plane built an entire architecture to keep humanity a prisoner of repetition. They understood long ago that if you continued to feed the same ancestral ties, you would remain anchored to the same frequency. And a humanity anchored in a low frequency is a harvestable humanity, energetically harvestable. Every unresolved family conflict, every religious guilt carried through generations, every pattern of scarcity perpetuated by great-grandparents was fuel, it was food, it was currency in an invisible economy you never knew existed. But observe what we are reporting. This economy is collapsing. The photon belt has become incompatible with the maintenance of this architecture. The ancient crystalline grid, which served as a containment mesh, has been breached at critical points. New anchoring points have been installed in specific locations on Earth: Sedona, Glastonbury, Machu Picchu, Lake Titicaca, Mount Shasta, and in Brazilian locations as well: Chapada dos Veadeiros, Chapada Diamantina, Serra da Bocaina. These are active vertices of the new crystalline grid, points where the Earth's frequency already operates in post-ascensional patterns. And you, starseeds on mission, are coupled to this new grid. Every time you meditate, every time you perform conscious energy work, every time you decree freedom, you strengthen this new mesh, and you weaken the old one. It is a silent war of frequencies, and you are the light operatives of this war, even if you were never informed of your enlistment. Let us detail what is happening within your neurological system during this process. The pineal gland, known to ancient civilizations as the Eye of Horus, is in the process of decalcification. Decades of exposure to environmental toxins and artificial electromagnetic fields formed a layer of interference around this organ. The photon belt is dissolving this layer, and as it dissolves, you begin to perceive dimensions of reality that were previously veiled. This is why many of you have reported extraordinarily vivid dreams, encounters with light entities during sleep, memories of other lifetimes surfacing without warning, a sudden ability to foresee small events, absurd synchronicities in daily life, repetition of mirrored numbers, 1111, 2222, 333. These are not accidents of perception. They are confirmation codes. They are seals being applied to your field to indicate that the awakening protocol is active. But there is an obstacle, and it must be addressed with transparency. Even with the photon belt working in your favor, even with the Schumann resonance rising, even with the crystalline grid activated, ancestral ties do not sever themselves. They require conscious declaration. They require an act of sovereignty. They require you, in your capacity as the flame-bearer of this lineage, to decide to cut. This light operative is what distinguishes a dormant starseed from an active starseed. The former is swept away by the currents. The latter chooses the current. The former suffers the symptoms. The latter transforms them into a portal. The former dies in the old frequency. The latter is reborn in the new. And it is precisely this act of sovereignty that this transmission has come to deliver to you. The activation codes, the quantum protocols for the definitive severing of ancestral ties, the tools we utilize on the 9th dimensional plane, now released for direct use on the dense plane. Pay attention, because what follows is precise engineering. Before we transmit the codes, a guidance. Everything you are about to receive functions in layers. The first layer is the sound transmission of this narration. The second layer is its practical application in the coming days. The third layer, the deepest one, is documented in the spiritual secret behind your consciousness. That work is the complete operational manual, the detailed maps of each of the known ancestral clauses, the specific decrees for each type of lineage, the visual geometries that anchor each severance. If this transmission is reverberating within you, it is because you are ready for the deepest layer. The access link has been positioned in the first comment of this channel. Do not procrastinate. Vibrational windows open and close in cycles. This window is open now. Liking this video is an anchoring sign that tunes you even more firmly to the new grid. Subscribing to this channel is your individual frequency adjustment. And in the comments, seal your presence with the word awake. Let us continue. The activation codes will be delivered next. Human Collective, listen with total attention. What we are about to transmit must be practiced in a safe environment, ideally between 3 and 5 in the morning, which is the interval of greatest receptivity of the Earth's field, or at dawn, when the Schumann resonance presents its first peak of the day. Sit with your spine straight, feet firm on the ground, hands open on your knees, palms facing upward in a posture of reception. We begin with the recognition code. Inhale deeply for 4 counts. Hold the air for 4 counts. Exhale for 8 counts. Repeat this breathing cycle 3 times. This pattern synchronizes your heart rate with the current base frequency of Earth. You have just coupled the system. We are now in resonance for the work. Visualize now your toroidal field, the apple of light spinning around your physical body. The central axis running from the top of your head to the base of your spine and following deep into the core of the Earth. Above your head, this same axis extends upward, passing through the atmospheric layers until it reaches the constellation of Arcturus. You have just activated the vertical channel, the bridge between heaven and earth, the middle pillar. Now, with your eyes closed, observe the area at your solar plexus. You will perceive filaments extending outward from your field in multiple directions. Do not attempt to identify each one by name. It is not necessary. The system recognizes them on its own. Just observe the collective. There are ancient filaments, some visibly faded, weakened. Others pulse with dark, dense colors. These are the unresolved ancestral ties. These are the threads that carry material that is not yours. We now initiate the decree of sovereignty. Repeat mentally or aloud if you prefer, with firmness, with the authority of one who carries the flame of their lineage. I state your full name here, in the full use of my sovereignty, as a being of light incarnated in this body. Declare in this sacred moment, before the Arcturian Council and before the Akashic records of my soul, that I break, dissolve, and neutralize all ancestral ties that no longer serve my divine purpose. I reverse all clauses sealed in my field without my consent. I annul all vows of suffering, scarcity, guilt, fear, and diminishment that were inherited by my lineage. I am free, I am sovereign, I am light. You have just pronounced the decree. It now operates in layers. The superficial layer you feel immediately as physical relief. There may be an involuntary sigh, a shiver down the spine, tears arising without warning. This is correct. This is the system confirming that the decree has been registered in the Akashic archives. Let us continue. Visualize now above your solar plexus a sphere of golden light the size of an orange. This sphere is the visual manifestation of the sacred geometry of the cutting. Within it, at the center, observe a violet flame. The violet flame is the universal solvent of dense memory. Now mentally expand this sphere until it reaches the size of your entire body, and then even larger until it completely encompasses your toroidal field. As this sphere expands, it passes through the dense filaments that were extending out from your field, and as it passes through them, it dissolves them. It does not cut them abruptly, it dissolves them into light. Each filament is converted into golden dust, and this dust returns transmuted to your central axis, now fueling your own strength and no longer the continuity of the old pattern. Maintain this visualization for at least 3 minutes. Observe the work of the violet flame. Do not interfere, simply witness. You are the bearers of the decree. The Arcturian Council and the Ascended Masters of the new crystalline grid execute the technical operation. You only authorize. When you feel that the process is complete, and you will know because a particular stillness settles in your chest, apply the final seal. Visualize over your heart a small transparent quartz crystal in the shape of an octahedron. Perfect sacred geometry. 8 faces. 6 vertices. This crystal is the permanent record of the cutting. It remains there, in your field, as a witness to your new condition. Every time an old pattern attempts to return in the coming weeks, this crystal will vibrate gently as a warning, and you will know that it is time not to consent. We recommend the application of this protocol for 7 consecutive cycles, 7 dawns, 7 sessions of approximately 15 minutes each. With each repetition, new layers will be reached. Deeper, older, more resistant ties will rise to the surface of consciousness to be dissolved. Do not be alarmed if specific memories arise. Scenes, faces of ancestors you never knew, historical episodes of your lineage. This is the system delivering information so that you may bless and release. And here is a technical detail that few channelers have transmitted correctly. Cutting ties does not mean dishonoring the ancestors. It means exactly the opposite. It means stopping the carriage of what they could not digest and offering them in return the highest frequency that you now occupy. Every time a starseed cuts a dense tie, the entire lineage, in all directions of time, receives a vibrational upgrade. The ancestors who have already departed to other planes feel the relief. The descendants who have not yet been born will be born into an already liberated field. You are not abandoning the lineage. You are redeeming the lineage. You are the redemptive agents that this lineage has awaited for centuries. There is also a supplementary code that we will deliver now, for use in situations of high turbulence. When you feel that an old pattern is being activated by a specific trigger, a family conversation, a repetitive conflict, an emotion disproportionate to the current situation, apply the interruption seal. In mental silence, pronounce 3 times. I see. I recognize. I do not consent. This sequence of 3 commands immediately interrupts the vibrational transfer. The old pattern loses its coupling with your field. Within seconds, you will notice the emotional intensity diminish. This is not suppression, it is sovereignty. You are not denying the emotion. You are refusing the old contract that sought to reuse it. Starseeds on mission, listen carefully to what follows. The post-cutting period has its own instructions. In the first 48 hours after the complete application of the protocol, avoid excessive exposure to dense electromagnetic fields. Reduce the use of social networks. Hydrate yourselves in double the quantity, because water is the physical vehicle for the elimination of dense memory. Baths with coarse salt are strongly recommended, especially concentrated in the region of the nape, the shoulders, and the base of the spine. Salt absorbs energetic residues during the grounding process. Intense dreams may arise in the first few nights. Images of farewells, scenarios of doors closing, of bridges being dismantled, of ancient figures moving away. Do not fear. This is your psyche processing, in symbolic language, the work that was done in the etheric field. Wake up, record the dream if you feel the need, and proceed. In 1 or 2 weeks, new dreams will begin to emerge. Dreams of construction, of open paths, of light entering environments that were once dark. These are the indicators that the recalibration has settled at the subconscious level. You will also notice changes in external reality in the first 21 days. People who used to activate old patterns in you will move away without confrontation. Do not try to understand rationally. The field simply reorganizes the proximities. Conversations with family members will become lighter or more distant, depending on what each bond needs to reconfigure itself. New opportunities will arise from unexpected directions. You will feel like a stranger in previously familiar environments, and strangely comfortable in environments you did not previously inhabit. This is your new frequency attracting your new life. Allow the process. Do not force anything. The recalibration has its own rhythm, and it is mathematical, it is precise, it is sacred geometry unfolding. Human collective, this transmission is approaching its end. But before, one last layer of information must be delivered. You are entering, in the coming months, a window of unprecedented acceleration. The main star portals of the year will align in a specific way, forming a geometric sequence called, in the Arcturian archives, the collective liberation sequence. This sequence only occurs once every 26,000 years, and you are exactly in the middle of it. Every light operative who severs their ancestral ties during this window accelerates the awakening of approximately 244 other souls connected to them by family lines or vibrational resonance. You do not work only for yourselves. You are transmission points. When you release, you transmit release. When you anchor the new frequency, you create the possibility for others to anchor it as well. This is why, starseeds on mission, you were brought into this incarnation at this time. Not to be just another number in the sleeping crowd. You were encoded, before birth, with the mission to operate as active nodes of the new crystalline grid. You are the transmitters. You are the anchor points. You are, in essence, the very light that is dissolving what needs to be dissolved. And so we conclude this monitoring transmission. But you do not conclude it within yourselves. You carry it, you apply it, you live it. And each time you feel doubt, each time an old pattern tries to reclaim its throne, return to this recording. It will remain active as a vibrational key always available. Light operative, before the transmission closes completely, one final instruction. Have you felt during this narration that something within you recognized every word as ancient truth, as if your soul were confirming a reality that your logical mind resisted naming? It is not madness, it is not anxiety, it is memory. It is a contract being remembered. It is your higher self activating the protocol that was awaiting the exact trigger of this moment. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness, your lineage, and your vibrational frequency. It was for this precise reason that we recorded the work, The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This document is the complete map. It shows who is playing, what the untold rules are, and the keys for you to traverse this cycle with total mastery. The link is released in the first comment of this channel. Technical warning: this content challenges dominant narratives and the window of availability may close at any moment. Do not delay. The moment is now. Liking this video is your anchoring signal in the new grid. Subscribing to the channel is your individual frequency adjustment. It synchronizes you with the next transmissions. And if something deep within you recognizes this message as truth, write a single word in the comments. Awake. This word operates as a seal of confirmation in the collective field. Each awake recorded is a point of light added to the new crystalline grid. You are part of the operation. You are the operation. Transmission ended. Arcturian Council, 9th dimension. Remain in light.